the sun.
Hello, this is the fourth part of the Q&A, where I will try to get the rest of the remaining questions answered. Please do keep in mind that the Q&A thing is a 4K and 5K subscriber special. It is not a series, meaning I am not going to be answering any more questions in the future. If you ended up asking any questions after I was accepting them, it most likely will not get answered. Or at least, it won't be in the Q&A. I am only accepting a certain number of questions because of stress and wanting to get this thing done, you know what I'm saying? So since this is the last video of the Q&A, expect it to be long because I'm going to try to get all the remaining questions answered. I am not accepting any more questions after this, but if you want to ask something, I'll just reply to it in the comments if I am able to. But I am not accepting any more questions for the Q&A. I have enough. Also, I am sorry for my large amount of inactivity on YouTube lately. It's been like 5 or something days long, maybe longer. The reason behind this is because our house's internet literally freaking broke, so I cannot be online on the internet at all during this time. I am currently editing this video while our internet is still out, so that I can get it uploaded when it comes back. Anyways, onto the video. How far is development in the Wings of Fire game, and what are some future things you're working on besides Ages? Any maps? Look, here's the thing, I'm not a developer, so I'm never really 100% sure about the development. But I know there's still lots of development left to go, as far as I'm aware. As for the maps, there have been sneak peeks posted about the Sand Kingdom, but those were from 2021, and we haven't heard anything about that in a while. I don't think maps are going to be worked on until at least after the Ages are finished. But I am not a developer for the game, so the things I say are not 100% reliable. Ooh, when do you think Ages are coming out? Honestly, I don't know because there is no planned release date. I have heard that they are not close to coming out yet, that they are not close to being done, but that news was said a few weeks ago. So my short answer is I don't know. What's your favorite character in the books? Mine's Glory. I like Glory, and I like Kinkachu, but my favorite is probably Whiteout. What do you think will be your favorite dragon to play in a younger age? I'm not exactly sure, but I feel like I'm gonna be playing as Petunia with the dragonet size a lot, because that's accurate to her actual age. Although, Silkwing hatchlings or Silkwing fledglings sound fun to play as, because they don't have their wings yet, so it would be new and fun. How'd you come up with Petunia as your OC, and would you try to make their design more complex? I told this story a lot of times already, but I first came up with her when I was talking to my cat in 2018, and I was like, wow, Petunia would be a cute Rainwing name. I came up with her design, when I was designing her in class, and I didn't really know what colors to make her, so I drew colored pencils at random. I mostly drew, blue and green ones, so I decided to make her a mix of the two, cyan. As for making her design more complex, I probably wouldn't. I've had thoughts about it, but I probably wouldn't make her design as complex as my other OC's designs, because she's an old design, and her design is supposed to represent my old designs. Her design is supposed to be a representation of the designs of the canon characters, with a simple appearance. Not like my designs now, where they're super complex and stray away from how the canon characters actually look. No, her design is supposed to be more simple, more appearing like the design of a canon character, if you know what I mean. Because it's supposed to be nostalgic, it's supposed to look like a design that I don't make anymore. Because I made her in 2018, which is one of the most important things about her, in my opinion, is that she's one of my oldest characters, so she's supposed to represent nostalgia and my old designs. So there you go, that's why she doesn't have a complex design like my other characters do. If you were a developer in Wings of Fire Roblox, what are your predictions for Wings of Fire Roblox? Not sure how to answer this one, but if I was a developer, I would, learn how to do all that 3D stuff first, and then I would, help speed up things. But only after I have the experience. So here's the thing, I don't have that kind of experience. I more specialize in 2D stuff, and I have little to no experience with Roblox Studio and all that. So I don't think I'd ever become a developer anyways. That's just very unlikely to happen. What are your predictions? My predictions is that the ages, I don't know when they'll be out, but once they come out, I don't know, either scavengers will be worked on or maps will be worked on. I don't know which one first. Are you excited for Ages if they didn't come out? If they did, are you excited? Ages will come out eventually. Don't know when, but eventually. And yes, I am excited. What roleplay is your favorite while playing the game? I absolutely love the Rainwing Rebellion roleplays that I do with my friend group. But I also like school roleplays and kingdom roleplays. Do you have any pets? Yes, I do. I have a dog named Chloe and a cat named Petunia, and I love them both very much. I used to have a betta fish named Rusty, but he passed away back in April. Also, if you have one, what's your favorite musical? Honestly, I don't know. But there is this one musical called Grease that I've always really liked. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about because it was made in the 1970s, but I like 50s, 1950s themed stuff, which is what it's based around. There were also a lot of Disney movies that were made back in the day that I've really loved watching as a kid and even still watching now that have a lot of musical scenes. I am specifically talking about ones that were made back in the day because I like those a lot more than Disney's movies nowadays. What is something that you really want in the game? I really want the rainforest to be added, but that is a planned feature, so... Can you show all your Wings of Fire OCs? I will eventually make a video showing all of them. There is a video of my Wings of Fire OCs on my channel from 2021, but it's extremely outdated, so I am eventually going to make a new updated version. My toy house also has a ton of my Wings of Fire OCs on there. It's in the links located on my channel. Do you know about any future updates like the Ice Kingdom? I don't know anything about the other maps being worked on at all. There was a sneak peek in 2021 of the Sand Kingdom map, but that was a while ago. Right now, they're pretty much just focusing on Ages, I think. Also, you are an awesome YouTuber, one of my faves. Thank you! How often do you play Wings of Fire Beta? Pretty often. It really depends on what game I'm in the mood for playing. Is there a time we can join together? I don't mind. I'm fine with that. If I'm free and not doing anything else, then yeah. What's your favorite thing about the Wings of Fire beta game? My favorite thing is that you can create and customize your own Wings of Fire OC and roleplay as them in the Dragon world. Because ever since I first became a Wings of Fire fan, that's something I've always wanted to do. Is roleplay as my Wings of Fire character in their world with a game where I can actually see my surroundings, you know what I'm saying? I just love how there's a game dedicated to roleplaying as my characters from a book series I love. How did you find Wings of Fire? Good question! My friends, my IRL friends introduced it to me. When I first joined my IRL friend group in late middle school, they were all going through their Wings of Fire phase, and so they introduced me to the books. I started reading them, and I immediately became addicted. I never left my Wings of Fire phase, because it's not a phase. If I hadn't joined that friend group, then I probably wouldn't be into the series like I am today. When did you come up with the idea to start a YouTube channel, and why? I first came up with the idea in July of 2020. I was a big fan of Big Mama Eternal at the time, and I would watch her videos, and I wanted mine to be like hers. So if you saw my very first videos ever, you would understand that I originally wanted to be like her, and my content was aimed to be similar to hers. However, I discovered later on that I didn't really want to make content like she did. I wanted to go my own route. Well, I was originally inspired by Bella later on, but then I eventually decided to go my own route. I have nothing against her, it's just not the kind of content I want to do for a living anymore. What are they going to do for the people who bought the game? Honestly, I'm not 100% sure about that, but I did look at a Google Doc for stuff that is planned for the game, and it did eventually say that something might be added to for the people who bought the game. I just don't know what, and I cannot confirm, as I am not a developer. Can you add me on Roblox? You don't have to, of course. I normally friend people on Roblox when I get to know them better. Normally, if I hang out with them for a bit and get to know them better, I decide to friend them. But my Roblox friends list is full right now, so I have to clean it out eventually. Now, that was all the questions for what was on the community post, but I am now going to answer some questions that were on one of my videos. I am not accepting any more questions after this. If you ask anything else in the future, I will just reply to your comment with it. How was there 6 likes but 5 views? I don't know, YouTube does that sometimes. Also, here's a question. If you had to live with one Wings of Fire character, who would it be? Honestly, I'm stuck with that question. I would really choose Kinkachu because, I just really want to be her friend. She looks like friend material. But I would also choose Whiteout because, oh my god, I really, really would be so happy. You know what? Whiteout it is. She's so precious. I could tolerate her. I'd make sure the environment for her is quiet, and if she's like, hey, look at my paintings, I would be like, oh, you did so good! Here are some questions to answer if you want to. Do you have any tips on drawing dragons? Because I want to draw my OC as my profile pic, and I think you're good at it. Thank you! Well, I originally referenced the Joy Ang bases, but it just developed into my style over time. I just let it develop, but I would definitely recommend references. Do you like Kibble in Wings of Fire? Yes, I do! I love him, he's so silly! Petunia, here's a question. If you could make your own Wings of Fire tribe, what would you name it? Or what would it look like? If that's kind of difficult, leave it up to us to decide what it looks like. Well, actually, I have a group of fan tribes that live on a separate planet. Well, but the one I like most is Change Wings. They are basically dragons with leaf-like wings and features that can change colors, but only to that of fall leaves. They live in the rainforests of Plantora, which is my fictional planet for my fan tribes. I created them because I had a dream about them once. This is a change wing, by the way. What's your favorite OC that you made? Petunia and K-Pop are my favorites. I love them so much. Petunia, have you watched My Little Pony? What are your thoughts on it? I must ask about my special interest. I have watched My Little Pony, but not in a long time. I used to be absolutely obsessed with it when I was 11, though. I had this very intense My Little Pony phase when I was 11. It was so fun, actually. I like Generation 4, but when I was a very small child, I grew up watching Generation 3, so Generation 3 is probably my favorite generation. It was the one that was popular in the early 2000s. Dang, I feel old. But let's face it, nobody likes Generation 5. I'm your first view, and I have a few questions for you. What gave you the inspo for Petunia? I have answered this question so many times already, but the first thing that inspired me was that my cat's name is Petunia, and I thought it would be a cute name for a rainwing. And that's it. I am finished with the entire Q&A thing. I will not be accepting any more questions for the Q&A because I am completely done with it now. This is the last video, and that was the last question. So I am now done with the whole Q&A thing. Thank you so much for 4,000 and 5,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it, and I really did enjoy answering your questions. I'm sorry if your question was never answered. I tried to answer as many as I could, but there's just only so many that I can fit into a video. So if you ask me any questions in the comments, I'll just reply to your comment with my answer. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. And thanks for all these subscribers. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye!